WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Not very often I can say, "Welcome to America, I have something in Europe that you don't have." This is the W.H. Harrison Indiana Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Governor's Reserve Barrel Proof Batch 4 at 115 proof. William Henry Harrison, the 9th President of the United States, born 1773, died 1841, and he was a President of the United States, as I said, as well as Governor of the Indian Territory. Not Indiana, but Indian Territory. Now, this is whiskey base number 39012, and this is actually MGP. So that's why it's Indiana Straight Bourbon Whiskey. And it does say here on the side, and I think that's an interesting fact here, it does say aged less than 4 years. Now, according to my knowledge, if a whiskey is over 2 years, it can be called straight whiskey in America, but it has to actually say how old it is. And if it's less than 4 years, it still has to say how old it is, but not if it's over 4 years. So if it was over 4 years, it would just say here, I would say Kentucky, Indiana Straight Bourbon Whiskey, but since it's under 6 years, it has to say so. It doesn't have to say, I don't think, that it's 34 months or 39 months or 45 or whatever, but it does have to say less than 4 years if it's under that age. This is actually a High Rye Bourbon from MGP. 57.5% ABV. Now, Harrison Bourbon actually has a straight bourbon. They have, which is made with Indiana oak. I did not know that Indiana actually had a cooper that actually made barrels there. Apparently it does. They say it's so on their website. They have the so-called Governor's Reserve, which is always barrel proof. As I said, this is batch number 4. There's been 1, 2, and 3, so it always changes a little bit with the proof. And they also had a President's release, which was a 16-year-old, and it was a Grauseland cask. 16-year-old MGP must be amazing. If you haven't tried it, get your hands on some of the Smooth Ambler Old Scout Bourbon. They had some at the very, very beginning at that thing. Now, there's only one thing wrong with this whiskey. I'm sorry, there's two things. The first one is, it says here on the label, best enjoyed on the rocks. How dare you say best enjoyed on the rocks? You can also enjoy it on the rocks. Yeah, but I'm not really sure if it's really best enjoyed on the rocks. I'm sorry, I don't have a tumbler. I have a Glencairn. I do a lot of whiskey tastings here about bourbons, about Irish whiskey, German whiskey, Asian whiskeys, and of course scotches. And my entire channel is built on the premises, I will do the video if no one else has done it. That's why WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of the rare, from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. So how did this American in Germany get his hands on some Indiana straight bourbon whiskey? Well, it's very, very simple. I bought this on an auction site. I bid on an auction site called Whiskey Auctioneer. I think it's .com, and it's in the UK. And I won the auction, and they sent it over here. And so we're talking about, I paid basically about 49 euros for this bottle, including postage, including tax, including the fee of the auction site, and including the real cost of the barrel. I think I paid 29.31 pounds for this, which transfer with all the other costs into about 49 euros, about 55 bucks. All right. So I am going to compare this with something which is very, very similar. Also something very, very exotic in the States, but magnificent. The Mayer Pingree, I can only say I fell in love with this bottle. Also bought it on auction site, got it for a decent price. I think I paid like $85 for it. And it's from Valentine's. And Valentine's just takes the MGP stocks and then fills it up for these bottle. So the single barrel store selects I have from Binny's Beverage Depot, exclusively cask number 14.4 with 57.3%. This is 57.5%. Very, very amazing whiskey, just fabulous, just great. All right, so I've already done my German video, and I know that this stuff is pure, almost best. If you put some water in it, it does dilute it and so on. What happens here, though, is something, I'm going to call it magical. Now, the nose is nice. There's a little bit of a clove moment. There's a little bit of a cinnamon moment. And there's a lot of wood. And alcohol. Really, really a lot of alcohol. Maybe I can get a little bit of that corn sweetness in there. If I nip on it, I get this big bad burn. And it's not really, really fantastic. But, as I said, I'm going to do a little bit of magic. I'm going to take it down from its 57.5 down to about 52. 51, 52%. I could test it if I had a machine here, which I don't have an instrument, a device to do this, so it's just more of less of a ballpark figure. But take it down to about 51, 52%. And then the magic starts. It turns into one of the best Christmas whiskeys ever. So you get the orange peel. You get the clove. You get the cinnamon. You get the nutmeg. You get all those wonderful moments of Christmas that you just love. Wonderful. Over here? Creamy butterscotch moments of cinnamon happiness. I can work as an advertiser, huh? Over here, you get a whole lot of Advent Christmas moments. The only thing I wouldn't say, but actually I do now want to say it, is marzipan. Over here in Germany, especially northern Germany, I live and I work sometimes in a city called Lübeck, where actually marzipan is the favorite product to be sold there. So it's an original type of thing in Germany. Let's try it. Christmas time. Wow. So bake your sugar cookies. Make your fruit cake. And take the W.H. Harrison Governor's Reserve Barrel Proof Batch 4. Put a little water in there and just enjoy. This is a very, very nice whiskey. It does get a solid a ranking with water from a B. And the value for money, as I said, I got it for 49 euros, about $55. I'm going to actually give this a C++ for value for money. I have no idea what it actually sells for in the States. I think it runs around $50 as well over there. And so I can recommend finding a bottle and trying it if you'd like. Yes, this stuff is amazing, though. If you can ever find a bottle of the Mayer Pingree, there used to be a 9, now there's a 10. I think there's actually 11 at the moment as well. This is just heavenly whiskey. Well done, gentlemen. Very, very nice. As an extra bonus at the end, I wanted to try and just brag again. William Laura Weller 128.2 proof, the 2017 Beat Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. This stuff is amazing. Jim Murray declared it to Whiskey of the Year 2017. I declared it as a very good whiskey. I gave it an A- if I remember correctly in my video. And I paid, now hold your socks, about $600 for this bottle over here. It's amazingly expensive. It's not even secondary market. It's very, almost like tertiary, the third level market, because someone has to actually win the lottery over in the States. They sell it to some distributor which sells it over here to Europe. Very, very expensive stuff, but it's very, very good. Is it worth the 600 bucks or dollars that I put down for it? No. Is it a fantastic whiskey? Yes. These two have no chance against this. Even the nose, it's just so complex and so deep and rich and dark. Mmm. Mmm. Imagine a, now I know it's not exactly the same, but imagine a Stag Junior on steroids. This would be the Weller Lauer, the William or Lauer Weller. Good stuff. Very, very nice. I highly like this, and I'm really, really happy to have this wheated whiskey here in my collection. Maybe it's a pappy, maybe it's not. Thank you very much for watching. WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany. My question of the day is, what is your favorite barrel-proof bourbon? Now, it might actually be the Weller here. If you had it, it might actually be the Mayer Pingree. It might actually be the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, which is also one of my bottles of WOW. It might actually be, as I mentioned before, the Stag Junior. Or it might just be your Booker's. I don't know, but I do like my bourbon, and I do like my barrel-proof bourbon. What's your favorite barrel-proof bourbon? That'd be great if you put it down in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe and tell others about this weirdo over here in Germany tasting whiskey you probably never seen in the States, even though it does come from the States. Bye-bye.